Alright, let's see if I set this up properly. It's been a minute. We doing it? We doing the thing? Hey, we're doing the thing. What is good, everyone? My name is Zach. I run this YouTube channel called Audibly Dumb, and welcome to AudiblyChill, the nerdiest music nerd live stream. I don't know if anybody's going to be in here at this time. I used to live stream on Sundays at 11 a.m. and now it's Fridays at 7 p.m. Well, we got somebody in there. That's nice. What's good? Let me go ahead and take out the chat here. What's going on, homie? Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming by. Really appreciate you. You get an E-chord. Okay, how does that sound? I haven't live streamed in a little bit. I kind of had to reset everything up. I'm not fully prepared. We got nothing on the docket for tonight. This is just a chill. We're going to talk about bands. We're going to talk about guitar. I don't have caffeine this late at night, so we're just running on vibes. You know what I'm saying? That sounded like an E-chord. You joined because you were bored. Well, hello, hello. Yes, is everything EQ'd okay? Everything sound okay? I hope it does. Okay. Well, you guys look to be a couple of new names for the live stream. Yeah, I did a bunch of live streams a few months back, and then life kind of got in the way. Goal is every Friday night at 7, we're going to be hanging. We'll just kind of let people join in. Sup, nerd? The hell is going on, dude? Thank you so much for coming by. Great to see everybody. It's going to be a beautiful Friday night. Everybody gets an E-chord. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining, and thank you for joining on the toilet as well. That's nice. You know that thing where you put on a YouTube short or like an Instagram reel, and then like you gotta wipe, and then like it's not a great wipe, so you gotta keep wiping, and then it's just the same reel going over and over and over again? That content creator's happy because you just gave them 19 plays. But only 2 of them counted because the other 17 you were wiping your ass. You know? Yes, that is an amazing feeling. Not only are you wiping your ass, but you're also supporting a small content creator. And that's nice. Unless it's a Rick Beato short. In that case, you're supporting a multi-millionaire. I can't even throw shade. Rick Beato, kind of unbelievable content. He gets a little ranty sometimes, real New Yorker-like, but man, those interviews are amazing. Anybody watch those Rush interviews he did? Oh my God. Pretty phenomenal. I like the band Rush, and yeah, those interviews really did something down in my plums. You know? Am I sharing too much? I feel like I'm sharing too much. Dork. Dork. You think you can get to me, bro? I went to public school in Florida. Nerves of steel. But for real, that kind of hurt my feelings. Will I have Paul McCartney on my show? If that dude won't do Rick Beato, he sure as hell won't come to my basement. I'll tell you that. That being said, if Audibly Dumb ever gets to a point where a Beatle is on the show, That's a future I can't see. We are nerds. Trained indeed. Let's see here. I'm going to play a nice little tone for you guys because I think it's cool. Get conversations going in the chats. Let's hang, let's chill. Like I said, normally these are kind of orchestrated. I just wanted to see if I could get this thing cruising again. I haven't live streamed in 2 months. They're usually pretty fun. We get a bunch of crew up in here. Let's see here. Goodness. Man, isn't playing music just the best? Last couple days I haven't really had the chance to just sit down and play because life and taxes and all that type of stuff. Oh man. Yeah, that right there. First thing you heard, dynamic hall reverb with a 420 millisecond delay through a Fender Twin patch. And then when I switched over to kind of the dirt, it was the same thing but through a Marshall patch. Yeah. We got any digital modeling users in here? Actually, you're hearing the Helix, but you're also hearing the tubes and the Friedman, so it's like kind of cheating, but whatever. Cleaner than your toilet. Well, then you're not going to the bathroom properly. Fix your diet. Listen, I get it. Analog does sound great. And to be fair, like I said, you're hearing a 212, you're hearing an SM57, you're hearing tubes, but the effects and the preamp, it is being digitally created. I'd feel bad, but I don't care. What is up, dude? Thank you so much for joining. Welcome. Welcome indeed. What are we listening to, people? What kind of music are we listening to going into the weekend? I was listening to Deftones earlier today. That last album they dropped a few years back. Mwah. I've listened to it several times. Yeah, Jack White. I've seen him twice, and then I met his guitar tech back in January. Oh, hang on now. This is a pretty dope time to try this. Yep. Whoa. We're just gonna see how this sounds. I have not played bass on a live stream before. Is that loud enough? Is it clipping at all? I can't tell on my end. It's just blasting into my right ear. Yeah, you know, man, I haven't really dove into bass much in the past. It is obnoxiously fun, right? It's all right. Yeah, see, I didn't really dial it in too much. Not bad, not too bad. What kind of basses do we like? I feel like a lot of guitar players, when they've switched to bass, they go for P basses. I like a jazz bass. Okay, so far in this chat, we've condoned playing bass, drumming, and drinking and driving. Can't condone that last one, but you do you, free country and all that. I'm not bailing you out. Upright bass, dog. That's for like real musicians. The short that I made the other day, people really want to play the hurdy-gurdy. I think I'm saying that right. I looked it up. Looks very complicated. Rickenbacker. Yeah. You a Motorhead fan? Probably are. I've played many Rickenbacker guitars. I don't like them. Is that a fair thing to say? I feel like a lot of people would hate me saying that. I don't like Rickenbacker guitars. They feel weird. They look kind of weird. I totally get the vibe, Beatles and whatever, but not my bag. If that what is at me. Yeah, you're right. I'm a piece of shit. Yeah, but no frets and there's a whole lot of this. See, just doing that sitting here is very exhausting. Very exhausting. I will say though, in popular music, when they can feature an upright bass, I don't know if I'd consider Tom Waits popular music. He sold a decent amount of records. That dude had an upright bass player. I listen to Tom Waits quite a bit. A Warlock? Nah, fam. Unfortunately not. You know, most of the instruments that I've owned in my life, they're usually like really vintage inspired, really straight ahead. Like even the guitars that I do videos on, they're usually pretty standard stuff, you know. Speaking of which, I will say a guitar that I've been like really pleasantly surprised by. I did a short about it. I've got a long form coming out about it too. Yamaha, dude. It is insane what you can buy from Yamaha at these price points. This thing's like $799 brand new. Woo! Anybody here ever own a Yamaha guitar? Any of the newer ones are just ridiculous. Yeah. Of any guitar I've done a video on, the P90 Revstar might still be my favorite one. It was so fucking good. It was so good. Oh. Dude, I think a lot of people's first guitar was a Yamaha. Like, there's cheap ones for sure, like especially acoustics and stuff, but mid-tier electrics really tie the room together. I am not a great bass player, but I'm learning. I'm not the kind of guitar player that's going to say, just because I know where all the notes are, I'm good at bass. These are tough instruments to play. Right? Like, I feel like people really shit on the bass. It's hard, especially like I couldn't imagine like doing a gig and being a bass player just because it's such a tough job. The low frequencies are just rounding the whole thing out, and you're the pocket, you're the time. People don't even realize, like lay people, even some musicians, when you're at a show, the amount of this that maybe if you're not even hearing it, you're feeling it, bro. If they took that bass out, you'd be like, what is happening? Hey, I need you to wipe while staying in this stream. Don't leave, right? Don't do that. We all need to be a part of that. This is a group. No, I have not. And that is just because I've had a jazz bass for about 7 minutes. I've owned this thing for like a week and a half. And the reason why is because I'm going to start writing my own backing tracks for long-form, audibly dumb videos. It's going to give me better time, make me a better musician overall, and give me some cool stuff to play over. Take your phone to the toilet, 100%. What amp am I using? I am using this giant box of Doom here. It's a 200 watt custom KB200. It is a solid state bass amp from the late 90s, I believe. It's actually pretty sick. It's got a 6-band EQ on it. It's got 63, 150, 350, 800, 2K, and 5K. It's got a headphone input. If you've got active pickups, it's got a 6 dB lower input. Like, dude, I paid like $80 for it. Oh. But yeah, I keep both the pickups on more often than not. I am going to switch back over to guitar though, mainly because I actually know how to play the guitar. Kind of. Oh, and I'm sure you guys have seen it, you're familiar. But to anybody watching who's not familiar, this is Lennon. Lennon is my Texas Toast Guitars Memphis. And Lennon is quite the treat. Is it valid to live stream to drum? Sure, why not? Yes, I name all of my guitars. Oh, my bad. Is it okay to leave to go play drums? It's a free world. You can do whatever you like. If this is the all amount that you want to hang, then have a great night. Thank you for coming. But if you want to hang, that's sick too. I wish you all the best. Go be an amazing employee. Make a little money for yourself while making a lot of money for other people. Was that too dark? I feel like that was too dark, but thank you for coming. We'll leave you on a little E chord. Hell yeah, dude. Appreciate you for coming by, especially on your like work break. That's pretty sick. Guitar players in here, do we mostly play modelers or do we play through real amps? What's the consensus here? What do you guys like to do when you're rocking out for your cat or whatever? Peavy Bandit. Uh, was that Josh Homie that played a PV? Who was famous playing a PV Bandit? I know Keith Urban started his career with one. And that's pretty insane. Gary, what is up, my dude? Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate ya. It's 7:20. I'm gonna be going for another 30 to 40. Ba-da-ba-ba. Yeah, you know, I gotta be honest. The reason why I play through modelers and a tube amp is because I can't pick camp, so I just play through both at the same time because there is a warmth and compression and saturation to tubes that when you really get into it, it's just hard to not. But there's a convenience to digital that's insane. Like right here at my feet, bunch of different drives and different amps and reverbs and all kinds of stuff. And I think I paid $500 for this like 3 years ago. What? That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, realistically, we are blessed with gear, are we not? Whether you want tube amps, whether you like solid state, or your, plugins on a laptop, or digital floor modelers, you can get great tones from anything. You can also get shit tones from anything. I certainly can get shit tones out of just about anything. That's more of like a hands and player thing. They say tone is in the hands. Well, my hands have the tone of a foot. Oh, dude. I will say, so I will defend people that shit talk digital, I'll defend it forever. The one thing that digital can't do is fuzz. I don't know why. They just, can't figure it out. Every single fuzz in this Helix, straight garbage. Garbage. I mean, I go see a lot of live music. I've seen people with just rows of tube heads and huge cabinets. I've been to plenty of shows where it's a silent stage. It can all sound great. But I have yet to really hear a digital fuzz where I'm like, fuck yeah, I want that. And the people that say they can tell the difference or whatever, I try not to think about it in a live setting. I will say though, I went and saw the Cock Marshall Trio. If you guys know Greg Cock, I went and saw him back in February, and he's running a a Tone King Royalist combo amp connected to another 212 underneath, and there was a 100 dB limit in the venue. They hit right at 100 dBs. There is just something about when you know the amp is in the room in a small club. There's this fuzz that Flipside over in Denver has. It's the MXR 108 fuzz, 308 fuzz. Somebody help me. I need a nerd. I'm phoning a friend. It's like a $70 fuzz pedal. It sounds super sick. Do I like Tally Hall? I'm not even going to Google. I don't know who or what that is. Is that a band? Is that a person? Is that a venue? Either way, I probably like it. Dude, Greg Koch was opening for Paul Gilbert. I left at the 5th Paul Gilbert song. Matter of fact, I learned in that moment that I'm not a fan of Paul Gilbert. I'm a fan of Mr. Big. Yeah, there's a difference. The Mr. Big song, Green Tinted 60s Mind. Oh, so sick. They played an instrumental version of that, and the whole time I was just like, I wish Eric was here singing this. And I wish Billy Sheehan was here on bass. That'd be pretty fucking sick. But yeah, Greg Koch just, dude. It failed, like it broke? That sucks. Like Koch, the manufacturer, or his signature? I mean, either way, that sucks, but. Alright. Let's see. Oh my goodness. That is an archetype with a tube screamer and an EQ and stuff. Man, I'm next coming weeks I'm going to try to spend an hour a day just practicing. Over the last couple months, my chops, man. You know what's crazy? I probably shouldn't admit this, but I'm gonna. So when I was a teenager, I was an internationally ranked sleight of hand magician, right? Playing cards. I was unbelievable. A lot of that stuff I can still just do. And I was like 15 when I did that. I'm 30. I never lost it. If I don't pick this up for 2 days, Down syndrome. Like I can't I can't do anything. When it goes, it goes. You get cold quick. Yeah, Dan. This is a Texas Toast Guitars Memphis. They modeled this after the the John Lennon Les Paul Jr. So this is a Banshee Pickups P90, and this is a Banshee Pickups Charlie Christian pickup. The first electric guitar pickup ever made was this. It's actually pretty sick. Oh, check this out. So do you see this black plate here? This black plate is a cover because underneath this pickup, this plastic section goes all the way into the body, like really far. So they created this plate to cover it. Well, I'm currently borrowing this guy from Texas Toast Guitars. This is the Charlie Christian pickup. This is, if anybody here knows Dylan Talks Tone, this is a Dylan Talks Tone P90. It's these 3 bolts on the front of the body are part of what's holding this pickup here. They still have this cover on the back. Ooh, is there a reflection? Yeah, it's see-through. So you can literally see into the body and see the mechanism for the pickup. How fucking cool is that? Wow. This thing sounds really sick too. I don't remember what the Memphis was retailing for. I want to say it was $18.99, which they're all hand-built right here in Colorado. So for a hand-built guitar, not too shabby. We're going to tune this guy up real quick. You guys are the first people that are going to learn about this. I've got a short and a long form coming out about it. So what this is a pine body, maple neck, rosewood board. Even though this is a Tele, it's Gibson scale length, so 24 3/4. And then obviously instead of the 6 on one side headstock, it's 3 3. It sounds fantastic. But yeah, dude, a Tele with a Gibson scale length, I'm honestly pretty into it. So like, let's see here. Listen to this Charlie Christian pickup. Hello, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. I'm Zach. Welcome to Audibly Chill. If you watch Audibly Dumb already, thank you so much for the support. I love you and your family. This is the Charlie Christian pickup from Banshee Pickups and Texas Toast Guitars. This is what the world's first electric guitar pickup sounds like. Okay, the Memphis is 2,099. See, put my own foot right in my mouth. Gary knows things because Gary's being a legend right now. He's spitting facts and I'm just talking. Hang on. Somebody is saying E chord, so I guess that means I have to play an E chord. Oh, let's see. Hey, buddy. Play some jazz? What do you think? Who do you think you're talking to? What? I'll turn the neck pickup down. I mean, I'm nowhere near that classy. Not just a single coil, a really primitive one. Like, it's like, I think this pickup was designed in the 30s. Oh my god. Play some funky music, white boy. I prefer Cream. Thank you so much. It was a little fuzzy, and it wasn't a fuzz. I do hear Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, but that's a different thing. I do enjoy the way these two pickups interact with each other, especially on a clean tone. My Texas Toast Memphis, one of my favorite things is the Charlie Christian and the P90 interacting. pretty great sound. It's very, very clear. Yeah, go back to calling me white boy. Yeah, right. Couple of reasons for that. A, the strings are fresh. B, the guitar is really fresh. And C, I'm really trying in the EQ structure of this to emphasize like certain mid frequencies. I want everything to be heard properly. There's this weird thing that happens sometimes. Like, have you ever picked up a guitar and you play a chord and you just can't hear every string? I hate that. But yeah, you guys are going to see Texas Toast guitars a lot on this channel. A, they're friends of mine. B, they make insanely good guitars. And C, if you ever decided to spend a couple grand on a guitar, if you're fortunate enough to be in that position, I would like you to support a local builder above Fender. Pieces of shit. Anyways, did I say that? I'm sorry. And then the employee discount? I don't get an employee discount. Bro, there's 2 employees. There's Chris and there's Matt. They don't even get an employee discount. Voice crack much? Eat me, bro. Okay? I turned 15 and then everything just stopped. What do you want? See that? Yeah, that whole Fender thing really sucked. It still sucks. I've decided not to make any content about it just because at this point it feels cheap. Everybody knows what's going on. There are these dudes that are making a video about it like every other day. And I totally get it. It's controversial and it's fun, but like, I just want to play guitars and have a good time. You know what I mean? I feel like it feels like a cheap way just to try and get like views. And don't get me wrong, views are dope, but I want the views to be like people that just want to hang. That's how I feel. Yeah, it does kind of feel like hate content, but at the same time, like what Fender's doing is pretty shitty. It's very anti-vibe, very anti-culture. Like, just make good guitars and like service the community, man. You know, Harley Benton. I've played really great ones. I've played not so great ones. I think all in all, for 300 or 400 bucks, you can get a pretty killer guitar from them. Yeah, I would say so. If I ever get the if I ever get my hands on one to do a video, I'd love to do some content about them. Yeah, and like even at that, right? Honestly, when it comes to like business, I think there's a right way to do business and a wrong way. I think it's possible to get pretty high achieving and not be a total piece of shit. But at the same time, it's like there's just so many really powerful people routinely doing dumb shit. Like, bro, just build dope guitars and like represent the community. Do you know what I really enjoyed? Does anybody here watch Gibson TV? Gibson's channel? When Mark Agnesi went over there, the Play Authentic thing, woof. Glad we moved past that because holy crap. But the collection series where they would do the collection of famous musicians, first of all, awesome content. The quality of everything was great. But the biggest thing was they would show the Fenders. It's Gibson TV. They would, of course, highlight the Gibsons, but towards the end of every video, they would show off like 3 or 4 just unbelievably dope Fenders. I like that. That's the kind of business I like. Promote your brand, like focus on Gibson for sure, but have the confidence to also understand that like as fans, Fender is Fender. Leo Fender changed the game in so many ways. Right? I think when it comes to engineers in this industry, it's Leo Fender, Ted McCarty, and Paul Reed Smith. That last one's probably pretty controversial, but they should be able to like talk about each other, still have healthy competition, but talk about each other in like a nice way. Neither did Ted McCarty. Think about that, dude. The guy, like, the guy who invented, like, the Les Paul, the 335, the SG, the Flying V, the Explorer, the Modern, didn't play guitar. It's just like, it's absolutely unbelievable that some of the biggest pioneers in this industry, I actually personally think Leo Fender, and I would love to hear your guys' take on this, Leo Fender is the most important figure. Some people say it's, Ted McCarty. Some people say it's Les Paul himself. I definitely don't believe that. But when you look at Leo Fender, you look at the Telecaster, first mass-produced solid body electric guitar. Just a couple years later, you look at the Strat. They're the fucking same right now. Like, it hasn't changed. That's amazing. And Jazzmaster and all that sort of stuff. But amplification. Dude, without Leo Fender, there's no Marshall. All that Marshall stuff was based on like Fender Bassmans. Just the Princeton, the Deluxe, the Vibrolux, the Bassman, the low-powered twin, high-powered twin, Harvard. Unreal. Unbelievable that one dude who wasn't a musician built all that. Crazy. You have a McCarty? I had a McCarty. I had a 594. I had a 594 for... Actually, I traded my 594 for my Sir Telecaster Morrison. I said the first mass-produced solid body. The Telly was the first, I guess, broadcaster is what they called it. That was the first mass-produced solid body. Pretty pivotal stuff. Yeah, that's the thing about... I mean, look what I'm holding right here. It's a Texas Toast, but kind of based on, Fender. Any guitar manufacturer that decides to try and start a new shape, tip of the hat, because that's hard. It is hard to try and justify, here's a new shape, or here's a new pickup, or whatever. Yeah, 100%. I will say, though, one thing that's cool about this is, like, the swoop here. They did this cool little, like, point thing that I think is cool. Hey, thank you so much for joining. I love you long time. I can try to learn some Charlie Christian stuff. Absolutely. I don't know exactly what it would be, but I can certainly give it a shot. Well, I'm going to be going for about another 15 minutes here. Let's see. How many nerds we got chilling? We got some people chilling. Yeah, I agree. I think Tobacco Burst is like my favorite finish on a guitar. It's my favorite color. My Heritage is Tobacco. My Sir is Tobacco. I learned some Weezer when I was younger. I feel like it's pretty simple. If you gave me 5 minutes to dive in, I could probably play you a bunch of Weezer. Oh, man. That first album, wasn't Blue their first album? And it just, like, immediately, before the age of the internet or anything, it was just like, whoosh, okay, we're famous now. I have a 535. Do. Oh. She's a biggin'. Yeah, so this is King. King is a 2024 535. My buddy Ike at Flipside Music gave me... Yeah, she's a... King is a beast. I said she. King is a he for sure. King is kind of a beast, man. Honestly, I hate to say this, but I really do think it's true. I think that King is my nicest sounding guitar. Every single thing that I could possibly think of wanting to play, King just does it in like the most graceful way possible. I will say though, this is probably my hardest guitar to play. And it's not because of the size of the body or anything. If you are not on your game, this guitar sounds like shit. I'm not on my game right now, so you'll notice there's plucks and dings and like, you know what I mean? But when you're warmed up and you're feeling it, it rewards that. King just, I don't know. It's like a professional musician's guitar. 256, yeah, kind of a classic progression for sure. Larry Carlton, that dude is like the benchmark, huh? Yeah, I can't imagine a custom shop Heritage giving you a solid return on your investment. Like, people dig them, but they're slept on for sure. Like, you can get the pre-owned H150, the Les Paul looking thing, for like $1,500. You can get them way cheaper than Gibson's. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know, dude. My Sir has a maple neck, and I fuck up on that thing all the time. It's honestly decently forgiving. King is not forgiving in the slightest. So, homie that said catchy arpeggio in F sharp minor. Something that I would recommend trying. Try to play something after it that doesn't involve musician math. Okay? Like, listen to what you're playing. Listen to what could be played next. And then figure out whatever the hell it is you just heard in your head. And if you're having a hard time with that, hum it out loud. I feel like that's pretty solid advice, right? Sometimes it's not about figuring out the math behind it. Sometimes it's just about what could sound good here. And then use just like active listening, and even if you literally have to do this, find the first note for whatever it is that you're thinking, and then go from there. Now, that is true. The circle of fifths, and then it's fourths if you go the other way. There are solid hacks like that really do a phenomenal job, but like I always find when I'm thinking of something while I'm writing something, sometimes it's just best if maybe you don't know exactly what it is mathematically when you create it. Maybe you figure that out later, you know? I don't know, man. Writing music is hard. I tip my hat to anybody who can do it on a high level. Songwriting is oof, right? I mean, we can all learn licks, we can learn other people's songs, but the idea of expressing yourself so wholeheartedly, damn. And then creating music that people want to hear. That's a big one. That's like a really hard one. And I don't know that that's completely in your control either. I think the state of the world has something to do with it. I think a lot of stuff that's outside of your control impacts the success of music you write. I don't know how valid that is, but it feels like it's accurate, right? Oh, man. Well, I gotta tell you guys, I feel like the stream's winding down. It's a good conversation. Chat's winding down. I think I am gonna go spend a little bit of time with the wife before I go to sleep and go to work tomorrow. I got my sellout gig in the morning. That's a really stupid way to look at it. The songwriting thing. Because Dave Grohl recently said the opposite. He was stuck on a song, and his bass player Nate looked at him and said, "You know, not every song has to be imagined by John Lennon. Doesn't have to be as good as the Beatles. It just has to be as good as you can do it, right?" But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Let's, do a little outro here. My name is Zach. This is Audibly Dumb. Thank you so much for hanging out with Audibly Chill. I'm going to be doing this every Friday at 7 o'clock at night. That is what you guys voted on. So that's the time that I chose. And then on Sundays, probably 1 to 2, maybe 3 Sundays a month, rather, Jesus, at 11, I'll do another live stream then. Starting in the next couple weeks on Fridays, I'm going to have a few pieces of gear, maybe some pedals. We're going to be doing some live gear showcases, and I'm stoked for that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It was a fantastic hang. Gary, appreciate you. Hope to see you in future live streams. I'll hit you guys with a little E chord to send you off. All right. That was nice. But yes, thank you guys. Have an incredible night. Me, love you.